Now, whatever went on between DDG and Halle, it should have stayed between DDG and Halle.
Halle, you need to get it together. You should have never had a baby if you was gonna be doing dumb shit like that.
You ever see a headline so wild you have to read it twice? That's exactly what happened when DDG's mom came out swinging, accusing Halle Bailey of lying about everything. From her real intentions to, allegedly, some behind-the-scenes obsessions that had fans going, wait, she did what? 1 minute, it was just quiet shade and breakup rumors. The next, DDG's mom Tanya was online throwing major claims, saying Halle twisted the truth, tried to play the victim, and even hinted that Halle had a thing for control that nobody saw coming. And then she said it. Halle didn't just stir up drama, she tried to ruin their entire family. People were stunned. Some believed her. Others said Tanya was just deflecting for her son. Either way, the way the story flipped, nobody saw it coming. Because behind all the smiles, the red carpet photos, and the cute family posts, something wasn't adding up. And once the accusations started flying, from secret tracking to explosive legal moves, everything fans thought they knew about this Hollywood couple got turned upside down. So how did we go from fairy tale to full-on family feud? Let's break it down.
She gonna talk to me. She acting like I did something mean to her.
You better stop, mother.
They looked like the picture-perfect couple. Halle Bailey, the radiant rising star, and DDG, the smooth-talking YouTuber-turned-rapper. Red carpet smiles, matching outfits, cuddly Instagram posts. The whole vibe screamed celebrity goals. But behind all those heart emojis and public kisses, something was unraveling. And it didn't take long for the fairy tale to take a sharp left. What started as subtle shade on social media quickly spiraled into court filings, exposed text messages, and a family feud that had the internet clutching their pearls. Halle started dropping quiet hints about the tension inside DDG's world. Stories about broken trust, weird dynamics, and family members stepping way too deep into their business. At first, people weren't sure what to believe. But then she said something that made everyone stop scrolling. Allegedly, DDG had left her dealing with everything solo, parenting, emotional support, all of it, while his mom stepped in like she was the main character. Suddenly, the narrative flipped. This wasn't just a messy breakup, it was the start of a full-blown family saga, and fans had no idea just how deep it would go.
A rare way of communicating that I don't talk to disrespect. If I'm talking in a high-pitched voice, it's not like I'm calling
I know him.
It's not like I'm calling
That's just him. But you can't keep naming people that's just him because it's but still disrespectful. How long y'all been together? But it don't matter, it's still disrespectful. He ain't changed from day one. He's been this way. No, day nine a little bit more disrespectful than what he was.
No, I was explaining to her that I don't act like a relationship to her anymore. Like I just act how as if I would act towards, regular, like not regular, but like normal. It's an affectionate you, it's a relationship you, it's a lovable you, and then it's like regular.
Now, most moms would stay out of the drama, right? Not Tanya. The moment Halle's quiet shade started gaining traction, DDG's mom jumped into the spotlight like she'd been waiting for it. First, it was subtle. A meme here, a cryptic post there. You know the usual, Jesus take the wheel kind of energy. But then came the real clapback. And trust me, she did not hold back. Tanya dropped a full statement saying she was tired of staying silent while her family's name got dragged. And according to her, Halle wasn't telling the full story. She said the sweet, graceful public image Halle gives off? Yeah, Tanya claimed it was all a front. She painted a picture of someone who caused chaos behind closed doors while playing innocent in the public eye. And just like that, the internet split into two camps. Team Halle and Team Tanya. But Tanya wasn't done. She doubled down, calling out Halle's performative persona and suggesting she was twisting facts to make herself look like a victim. And this wasn't just some passive-aggressive shade. Tanya went full mama bear, talking like she had years of bottled-up receipts ready to go. It felt like every post was another layer peeled back, exposing a family dynamic that was way messier than anyone expected. And just when you thought it was going to simmer down, Halle responded with proof.
Y'all see Halo walking in the room with my brother stream, my mama is coming to bring that motherfucking there. My mama is the reason why we get our motherfucking kids. I don't talk to my goddamn baby mama. My mom is the reason why me and my brother get our kids. We go through my goddamn mama. My mom is nice as hell. This could be my mama cup. Chino can come and slap the cup out her hand. She gonna be like, oh, I'm just gonna get me another cup. My mom is the nicest person in the world. What the fuck?
So just when Tanya thought she had the upper hand, Halle pulled out the one thing that can shift the whole narrative: receipts. And not just vague statements or subliminals. No, we're talking actual text messages that had people staring at their screens like, wait, what? In the screenshots, Halle directly messages Tanya, trying to coordinate pickups and drop-offs for baby Halo. But here's the kicker. DDG was nowhere in the convo. Like, at all. It was just Halle and Tanya talking logistics while DDG was off the grid. One message in particular had people talking. Halle says something like, let me know if Moose is still getting Halo or if you're handling it. And Tanya replies super casually, saying DDG will just wait until Halle gets back. And everyone online had the same reaction. Hold up, why is DDG's mom managing all of this like she's the one co-parenting? Where's the actual father in all of this? Fans started calling it what it looked like. Tanya doing way too much and DDG doing not nearly enough. It was like Tanya had taken the role of fixer, spokesperson, and caretaker all rolled into one. And as those texts made their way through the blogs and timelines, the tide started turning. People weren't just questioning DDG anymore. They were looking at Tanya sideways too. Because when you're that involved, that controlling, and that vocal, it stops being helpful and starts looking like something else entirely. But Tanya wasn't ready to step back. If anything, this only fired her up more, and the next move she made took things from family drama to full-blown plot twist. Just when people thought it couldn't get more intense, Tanya came back swinging. And this time, she wasn't just talking. She brought legal filings into the mix and hit the internet with a bombshell that had everyone's jaws on the floor. According to Tanya, Halle had been keeping tabs on DDG's every move using, you guessed it, AirTags. Yeah, those tiny little tracking devices meant for finding your keys. Tanya claimed they were being used to follow DDG around like a real-life GPS plotline. She said it started back in June 2023, when an AirTag alert popped up out of nowhere. At first, it seemed random. Then they found one tucked inside DDG's Maybach, and that's when things started to feel not so random. A few nights later, Tanya says Halle allegedly popped up at a movie theater DDG was at, uninvited, and made it very clear she knew exactly where he was. That wasn't all. Tanya said they searched the car again the next day and found another AirTag hidden deep under the back seat, but it didn't stop there. A few days later, DDG's stepdad got pinged while driving the Escalade, and guess what? Another one. This time allegedly stashed behind the seat again. And just when it was starting to sound like something out of a detective show, Tanya hit everyone with the twist. One more tracker found inside a vitamin bottle. Not in the glove box, not on the seat, inside a bottle. It sounded way too specific to be accidental, and Tanya was convinced this wasn't just coincidence. It was a pattern. And if that wasn't wild enough, she dropped one more revelation that took things from messy to straight up cinematic. So after all the online back and forth, the shade, the posts, the texts, things escalated where they usually do in celeb drama, the courtroom. And this wasn't just a quick hearing or some petty spat, this was full-on legal chess. And Halle came with strategy. She filed for sole custody of their baby, Halo, and asked the court for permission to take him overseas while she filmed a major movie in Italy. DDG wasn't exactly thrilled about that. He tried to block the move, claiming it was unfair to be so far from his son. But here's the thing. Halle had receipts, timelines, contracts, everything laid out like a business proposal. She told the judge that this role was how she supported herself and her child, and she'd given DDG plenty of heads up. The judge sided with her. Halo was going to Italy, and DDG's visits, supervised only. And that's where it got even messier. DDG's legal team tried to pitch Tanya, his own mom, as the person to supervise the visits. But Halle shut that down quick. Her attorney argued that Tanya wasn't a neutral party and had already been too involved in everything. The court agreed. Tanya was out. From that point on, only a professional third party would be allowed at visits. And it didn't stop there. Halle's team came with a full-on security plan, licensed professionals, private security, even notice to Italian authorities. Meanwhile, DDG's side tried to offer up a therapist to supervise, which the court side-eyed hard. It was clear by then that this wasn't just about parenting. It was about trust, control, and setting serious boundaries. And if Tanya thought she was going to quietly stay in the background, that hope was long gone. Because after this ruling, the public started connecting even more dots, and Tanya was right back in the hot seat. So while the court was laying down rulings, the internet was laying down judgment of its own. And let's just say, Tanya was not getting the sympathy she might have hoped for. The second the court said no to her supervising visits, people started digging, scrolling, and pulling up receipts from way back. One clip that resurfaced had everyone side-eyeing hard. DDG during a live stream, casually smacking food out of Tanya's hand. And instead of checking him, she just laughed it off like it was nothing. That moment hit different in context. Viewers weren't seeing a playful mom-son moment anymore. They were seeing a pattern. The narrative started shifting. Tanya wasn't just a concerned mom. She was looking like someone who consistently let stuff slide. People began calling it out plain and simple. This isn't protective, this is enabling. One comment said, "She's always stepping in to smooth things over, even when her sons mess up." Another person wrote, "She acts more like a manager than a parent, always doing damage control." It wasn't just about DDG either. Old stories started resurfacing about Tanya's other son, and how his ex had called him out for being difficult. And guess what Tanya did then? Same thing. Brushed it off like it was just part of his personality. No accountability, no real correction, just a smile and a shrug. Fans started piecing it all together like a puzzle. Every time something messy happened, Tanya was in the mix, defending, justifying, never really checking anyone. And the questions started floating around louder than ever. Was Tanya helping? Or was she part of the reason things kept going left? At this point, it wasn't just about DDG anymore. People started realizing this wasn't some one-time situation. This looked like a pattern. Tanya's name kept coming up, not just with DDG, but with her other son too. And the stories? Way too familiar. One of her son's exes came forward saying he was difficult to deal with, unpredictable, and flat-out disrespectful. And when Tanya was asked about it, same old reaction. She laughed. Literally. Said that's just how he is, like it was some quirky personality trait instead of a problem that needed real attention. The internet caught that immediately. People started calling it boy-mom syndrome taken to the extreme, always defending her sons, no matter how wild their behavior was. And the wildest part? A clip from another one of her sons made the rounds. And in it, he called Tanya the nicest person ever. At first, it sounded sweet, until you actually listened to the tone. It wasn't a compliment. It was more like, she lets us do whatever we want and never says no. Viewers weren't buying the nice mom image anymore. They saw someone who kept sweeping things under the rug, who kept stepping in before her sons had to face consequences, and who might have blurred the line between helping and hovering a long time ago. One commenter nailed it. She doesn't set boundaries, she sets cover stories. And honestly, based on everything leading up to this point, it wasn't a reach. Tanya's involvement wasn't just a side note. It was starting to look like the common thread in all the chaos. But even with all that, Tanya wasn't backing down, not even close. So now the question everyone's asking is Tanya just a protective mom caught in the middle of a messy situation? Or has she been enabling the chaos all along, playing defense while the damage piles up behind the scenes? Is Halle overreacting? Or is she finally doing what she has to do to protect her peace and her child? Because one thing's clear, this isn't just about social media drama anymore. It's about patterns, protection, and what happens when the lines between love and control get blurry. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Are you Team Tanya, Team Halle, or just Team this is way too much? And if you want more deep dives like this, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next time something messy goes public. This tea is only getting hotter, and you already know we'll be right here to spill it. Catch you in the next one.